Madison Square Garden. The Mecca, the bright lights, the eternal buzz of New York City. Tonight, it's not just any game. It's the Pistons taking on the Knicks, and trust me, this one's got drama written all over it. On one side, you've got the Pistons, a team that's crawled out of the shadows, clawing their way back to respectability with a 20-19 record. Last season, they were barely a whisper. Now, 9 wins in their last 11 games. That's not just luck, that's a team figuring out who they are. Cade Cunningham, the kid's dynamite. A triple-double against the Raptors, 22 points, 17 assists, and 10 boards. Not to mention Tim Hardaway Jr. throwing up 27 and Malik Beasley chipping in 18. These boys are ballin', but you can't ignore the Achilles heel, 29th in the league defending the three. That's like a boxer with a glass jaw. Sooner or later, someone's landing a haymaker. Now, flip the script. The Knicks, the darlings of the Big Apple, sitting pretty at 26-14 and riding high after dismantling the Bucks by 34 points. Jalen Brunson, ice in his veins, dropped 44 points, and that's after shaking off a knock mid-game. Then there's Karl Anthony Towns, the new king of the paint, dropping 30 and pulling down 18 boards. They're second in offensive efficiency and third in shooting. This team, they're the kind of polish that makes you believe. But here's the rub, defense. They're letting teams light it up from beyond the arc. Against a squad like the Pistons, who've been finding their rhythm, that's dangerous. And let's not forget, they've split the season series so far, and Detroit snapped a 16-game losing streak to these Knicks not too long ago. Now the X factor, Brunson. If he's on the floor, Detroit's going to have nightmares trying to contain him. No Ivy for the Pistons means Brunson's got free reign. And that perimeter defense, oh, you better believe the Knicks will exploit it. But if Brunson's not at 100%, this game gets a whole lot closer. So, who's it gonna be? The scrappy underdog Pistons riding their wave of momentum, or the Knicks, trying to cement themselves as one of the East's elite? And today's AI pick is, the New York Knicks minus 7.5. But don't get too comfortable, my friend. This is just game 1. On to game 2.
Scotiabank Arena. The frozen north where basketball dreams go to thaw or shatter. Tonight, the Raptors welcome the Golden State Warriors, 2 teams on opposite ends of a free fall. The Warriors, 10th in the West, hanging on to relevance by their fingernails. The Raptors, 8 wins, just 8. That's not a team record, it's an obituary in progress. Let's talk about Golden State. A dynasty that once struck fear into the league now limps in with a 19-19 record. Their offense? Averaging 100 points over the last 4 games. That's not just bad. That's what's happening to us. Bad. No Steph, no Draymond, what do you expect? But tonight, Steph Curry's back in the mix. He's the engine, the maestro, the guy who makes magic happen. Draymond though? Still a question mark. And without him anchoring the defense, this team's identity starts to blur. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Defense. The Warriors allow plenty of 3-point attempts, 37.9 a game, but opponents only hit 35% of them. 9th in 3-point defense, 10th in overall scoring defense. That's what's keeping them alive. But with an offense sputtering like a car on its last gallon, can they really rely on just defense? Then there's Toronto. Oh, Toronto. 8 wins and a 5-game losing streak, 1 win in their last 17 games. That's not a slump, that's a crisis. Their offense is like a car stuck in neutral. 29th in 3-pointers made, 29th in attempts. It's as if they've forgotten the 3-point line exists. But here's the kicker. Their defense is even worse. Allowing 119.2 points per game, 27th in the league. They're practically rolling out the red carpet for teams to score. And yet, this is where desperation meets opportunity. Toronto's 6-3-1 against the spread as home underdogs in their last 10. They don't win, but they make it ugly. Meanwhile Golden State? they're 2-7-1 against the spread in their last 10. On the road, they've been as shaky as a house of cards in a windstorm. The spread's set at 5.5, and that's where it gets fun. Curry might light it up, but the Warriors haven't exactly been road warriors. And Toronto? They're starving for a win, clawing for respect. Sometimes hunger outweighs talent, and today's AI pick is Toronto Raptors plus 5.5. But don't get too comfortable. We've still got more games to break down. On to Game 3.
Houston, Toyota Center. A fortress for some, a graveyard for others. Tonight, the Memphis Grizzlies roll into town, fast, furious, and a little reckless. Top of the league in pace, first in scoring, and fueled by a player who moves like he's got destiny stitched into his sneakers, Ja Morant. But here's the kicker. For all their fireworks, Memphis has a fatal flaw. Turnovers. And they're not just a hiccup. They're a full-blown identity crisis. Bottom 10 in ball security, handing opponents free possessions like they're gift-wrapped. And across the court? The Rockets. A team that thrives on order. They're slow, deliberate, almost surgical. They don't just rebound. They dominate the boards. Best in the league, 58.6 rebounds per game, like every missed shot belongs to them by birthright. Their defense? Third in the league, smothering teams to just 107.1 points per game. They make you earn every single point. But let's rewind to their last matchup. Houston took it 119-115. Alperen Sengun, a beast in the paint, dropped 32 points and grabbed 14 boards. Jalen Green hit from deep like he had something to prove. Memphis shot 50%, sure, but 20 turnovers? That's not playing basketball. That's playing with fire. And here's where it gets fun. Memphis lives in the paint, second in the league in points down low, but Houston's defense is a wall. Sixth in paint defense, forcing opponents into the kind of mid-range purgatory that nobody likes. For Ja Morant, every drive to the basket tonight will be a war. And the Rockets? They know this game isn't just about a win, it's about keeping their lead in the Southwest, about proving that control beats chaos every time. The over-under is set at 236.5. Memphis will try to run, force turnovers, and light up the scoreboard. Houston will slow it down, grind the game to a halt, and make Memphis play at their pace. It's a chess match with hardwood as the board. And today's AI pick is, under 236.5, 3 games down, and we're just getting warmed up. On to Game 4.
Los Angeles. The City of Angels. Tonight, it's more than basketball, it's a stage for resilience. The Lakers host the Spurs at the iconic Crypto.com Arena. A game postponed by tragedy, now serving as a moment to uplift a city reeling from devastating fires. The Spurs limp in, battered and bruised. 3 straight losses. Keldon Johnson, stepping up with 24 points off the bench last game, but Victor Wembanyama, San Antonio's golden hope, has hit a cold streak. 10 points on 41% shooting in the last 3 games. Jeremy Sochan. Questionable. Devin Vassell. Quiet. This team's looking less like a contender and more like a puzzle missing too many pieces. And then, the Lakers. Rested, but restless. Losing to a short-handed Dallas team without Luka or Kyrie. That's the kind of loss that stings. LeBron James. Still the maestro, a double-double machine, but the supporting cast hasn't been delivering. Austin Reeves is colder than January in Minnesota, and even Anthony Davis has been inconsistent on offense. But here's the silver lining: this team is 12-5 at home. When the lights shine brightest, they've delivered. The spread sits at 3.5. The Lakers are favored, and for good reason. The Spurs can't shoot, can't defend, and haven't figured out how to play consistent basketball on the road. This isn't just a game for L.A. It's a statement. Expect LeBron and AD to step up, rallying a crowd that needs something to cheer for. And today's AI pick is Lakers 3.5 now. Before we close, let's recap the action. Game 1, Detroit Pistons vs. New York Knicks. AI pick Knicks 7.5. Game 2, Golden State Warriors vs. Toronto Raptors. AI pick Raptors 5.5 Game 3 Memphis Grizzlies vs. Houston Rockets. AI pick under 236.5 Game 4 San Antonio Spurs vs. Los Angeles Lakers. AI pick Lakers 3.54 games, 4 stories, in one AI-driven narrative. The stage is set, the players are ready, and the picks are locked. Now, all that's left. The thrill of the game.